A powerful confirmed tornado tore through Dover, Delaware's capital city, leaving serious damage in its wake. Right now, flood watches and warnings stretch across the I-95 corridor, affecting more than 25 million people. This is shaping up to be one of the most severe multi-hazard weather events the Northeast has seen in years. Tornadoes, flash floods, destructive wind gusts, and dense fog, all converging at once. There's a lot of ground to cover, so let's break down what's happening. The aftermath in Dover, the flooding threat spreading across the region, and what to expect in the hours ahead. Here's something worth noting first. Delaware hasn't experienced a tornado this severe since Tropical Storm Isaias struck back in August 2020, which spawned an EF2 twister. 6 years later, Dover is once again facing the fallout of a violent tornado touchdown. Around 6:18 p.m. EDT on Thursday, August 20th, the National Weather Service office in Mount Holly, New Jersey, confirmed a large and extremely dangerous tornado moving through the area near Dover Speedway. Forecasters didn't mince words, describing it in exactly those terms: large and extremely dangerous. This came after a particularly dangerous situation PDS Tornado Watch had already been issued for the region at 2:55 p.m. For context, a PDS watch is a heightened alert level the Storm Prediction Center uses when atmospheric conditions strongly favor the formation of intense violent tornadoes. In terms of the NWS alert hierarchy, it starts with a watch, escalates to a warning, and the most severe designation, a tornado emergency, is reserved for confirmed violent tornadoes bearing down on populated areas. The first sign of trouble came at 5:53 p.m., when a trained storm spotter reported a tornado on the ground near Hartley, Delaware, roughly 14 miles west of Dover. That tornado tracked eastward at about 30 miles per hour. Shortly after, meteorologists confirmed a second, potentially even more intense tornado directly over downtown Dover. The Mount Holly NWS office verified both twisters had touched down separately within Kent County that evening. The broader Philadelphia metro area was hit hard too. At least 8 separate tornado warnings were issued across the region Thursday evening alone. 8 warnings in a single night is a strong indicator of just how volatile the atmosphere had become. Meteorologists point to a collision between a fast-moving cold front and an unusually warm, moisture-saturated air mass. At the same time, a warm front was sitting across southeastern Pennsylvania, Delaware, and southern New Jersey. That combination, cold front, warm front, and Gulf-level moisture overhead, created ideal conditions for rotating storms, which is exactly what developed. NWS forecasters describe the atmospheric moisture levels as unusually high, with the most intense storm cells producing rainfall rates of 1 to 3 inches per hour, intensity more typical of a tropical system than a standard severe thunderstorm outbreak. For residents of Dover, or anyone with family in Kent County, here's the latest. Mayor Robin Christensen declared a state of emergency at 6:20 p.m., just 2 minutes after the tornado warning went out. The declaration will remain active for at least 30 days, clearing the way for the city to tap into federal and state disaster resources through FEMA and DEMA. The most severe destruction was concentrated along North DuPont Highway near Route 13 in central Dover. Both the Days Inn and the Super 8 Lodge took direct hits as the tornado tracked along Route 13. Sections of roofing at both hotels either collapsed inward or were torn off entirely, walls, doors, and whole structural sections simply gone. An estimated 2 to 3 dozen guests were evacuated from the 2 hotels and shuttled via DART transit buses to a temporary shelter. The Division Street and Lookerman Street corridor also sustained heavy damage, according to Dover police, who confirmed it as another major impact zone. Dover's Little League reported damage to its fields, located near one of the city's power substations. Officials are urging people to steer clear of that area for safety reasons. Downed power lines have also been reported on McKee Road, Pears Chapel Road in Magnolia, and at the intersection of South Governors Avenue and Water Street. Dover Motor Speedway, situated roughly a mile north of the Days Inn, has confirmed no damage to its property or facilities. Welcome news given it's the region's largest venue, though officials say a full inspection of the grounds is still planned. Here's the truly striking part of this story. Not a single injury has been reported anywhere in the city of Dover. Dover Police Lieutenant Mark Hoffman called it nothing short of a miracle. Given the scale of the structural damage, roofs torn away, debris scattered everywhere, 0 injuries is an extraordinary outcome. It reflects fast resident response, effective warning systems, and no small amount of luck. As of early Friday morning, the situation in Dover remains serious. 2 city-owned power substations were knocked completely offline due to tornado-related tree damage, cutting electricity to large portions of the city. Delaware Electric Cooperative confirmed more than 1,000 customers without power in its northern service area alone. City phone lines were down for 4 hours following the storm, creating additional challenges for emergency responders trying to coordinate. Numerous traffic signals throughout Dover remain non-functional, and police are asking drivers to treat every dark intersection as a four-way stop. The largest ongoing outage zone, as of overnight, is centered in Dover's Town Point neighborhood. Dover police have been blunt in their messaging on social media. Stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary. Every extra vehicle out there makes it harder and riskier for emergency crews trying to do their jobs. Now let's shift to the second major story from Thursday's system: flooding on a massive scale. More than 25 million people along the I-95 corridor were placed under flood watches, with the threat zone stretching from southwestern Connecticut all the way down to northern Delaware. The Weather Prediction Center raised the flash flood risk to a level 3 out of 4 for New York City and its surrounding areas. In WPC terminology, a level 3 designation means numerous instances of flash flooding are considered likely, not just possible, but likely. Starting in Delaware and moving north along the I-95 corridor. In Kent County, home to Dover, the National Weather Service issued a flash flood warning at 6:53 p.m. Thursday evening. By that point, radar estimates already showed 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain on the ground, with rain continuing to fall at a rate of 1.5 to 2.5 inches per hour. Forecasters warned that another 1 to 3 inches were possible on top of totals already recorded. The warning was classified as severe, with an immediate threat to towns sitting directly in the flash flood zone: Harrington, Camden, Denton, Greensboro, Goldsboro, Woodside, and Viola. Anyone living near a creek, stream, or low-lying road in those communities was facing an imminent threat level situation. Moving north into Newcastle County, Delaware's most populous county and home to Wilmington, a separate flash flood warning was issued there as well. Statewide, the storm dropped 1 to 3 inches of rain across Delaware, with the highest totals recorded near Dover and Smyrna. Conditions escalated further once the system moved into Pennsylvania, where simultaneous water rescues were confirmed by the NWS. At 6:42 p.m., trained weather spotters reported active water rescues in Delaware County, Pennsylvania, according to official NWS bulletins. That flash flood warning spanned Newcastle County, Delaware, along with Chester County, Delaware County, Montgomery County, and Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. Around 8:46 p.m., local law enforcement confirmed flash flooding and road closures in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, where rainfall totals had reached between 1.5 and 3.5 inches by that point in the evening. Here's a critical development for anyone in Northeast Philadelphia: the Pennypack Creek rose into flood stage overnight. At 12:43 a.m. Friday, the NWS Mount Holly office issued a flood warning for northeastern Philadelphia, active until 4:45 a.m. EDT this morning. In the Holmesburg and northeast Philadelphia areas, flooding is actively occurring, with 1 to 3 inches of rain reported, and the Pennypack Creek confirmed over its banks, according to the official NWS bulletin. The NWS message remains consistent and urgent: turn around, don't drown. Most flood-related deaths occur in vehicles. Never attempt to drive through flooded roadways. Thursday evening brought serious flooding to New York as well. In New York City, heavy rainfall flooded multiple roadways and subway stations, triggering major transit delays. Reporting and photos from CBS News New York showed water actively pouring into Penn Station, one of the busiest transportation hubs in the country. On Long Island, the Long Island Expressway in Queens was forced to close in both directions due to flooding. According to NYC Emergency Management, crews waded through floodwater to reach stranded drivers while traffic backed up for miles. Separately, in Nassau County, a possible tornado caused damage to or destroyed dozens of cabanas at an Atlantic Beach club. The Inwood Fire Department responded to the Sun and Surf Beach Club around 7:12 p.m., following reports of severe wind damage. It's worth noting this Nassau County event is currently described only as a possible tornado. Official NWS damage surveys will determine that designation. Continuing south, the NWS office in Wakefield, Virginia, issued its own hazardous weather outlook Thursday night. That outlook covers southeastern Maryland, including Dorchester, Wicomico, Somerset, and Worcester counties, along with Accomack County, Virginia, and the broader Hampton Roads region, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Hampton, and Newport News. Importantly, the NWS is warning that this system isn't finished with these areas yet. Additional rounds of showers and thunderstorms are expected Friday and Saturday, with locally heavy rainfall and flash flooding still possible. Residents across eastern Virginia and the Delmarva Peninsula should stay weather aware through the weekend and continue monitoring weather.gov for local updates. Now for an additional hazard developing as we move into Friday morning. A dense fog advisory is in effect until 10 a.m. EDT across central New York and northeastern Pennsylvania. Issued by the NWS Binghamton office, the advisory covers Steuben, Chemung, Tompkins, Broome, Tioga, Otsego, Chenango, and Madison counties in New York, along with Bradford, Susquehanna, Lackawanna, Luzerne, Wyoming, and northern Wayne counties in Pennsylvania. Major cities affected include Binghamton, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Ithaca, Elmira, Corning, and Owego. Visibility has dropped to a quarter mile or less in the densest fog, roughly 400 meters, especially in valley areas. Anyone driving through these regions this morning should slow down significantly, use low-beam headlights, and leave extra following distance. A second, separate dense fog advisory is in effect across central Pennsylvania, issued by NWS State College, also through 10 a.m. That advisory covers Franklin, Dauphin, Lebanon, Cumberland, Adams, York, Lancaster, and Schuylkill counties in south-central Pennsylvania. So as of Friday morning, 3 hazards are unfolding at once: active flooding in northeast Philadelphia, dense fog across Pennsylvania and upstate New York, and ongoing storm recovery in Dover. First responders and cleanup crews working in Dover are operating under genuinely difficult post-storm conditions. Please stay off the roads in that area, unless it's truly necessary, to give them every advantage possible. Now let's turn to the extended forecast, since the next couple of days are critical for recovery efforts in the hardest-hit areas. Here's some good news to start. Today, Friday, August 21st, will bring a welcome break across Delaware and the Philadelphia region. Expect a mix of clouds and sun, with temperatures reaching the low to mid-80s across Delaware. Dover should see a high near 83 degrees Fahrenheit, dropping to around 67 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. Philadelphia will climb to about 80 degrees Fahrenheit under partly sunny skies with no rain, a genuinely pleasant late summer day. For anyone facing cleanup in Dover, today is your window. This is likely the best weather you'll get for a while. The dense fog advisory lifts by 10 a.m., and conditions should improve steadily through the rest of the day. Now, here's where things need close attention. Saturday, August 22nd, is a concern day for the region. A new weather system moves in early Saturday morning, bringing another round of showers and storms through part of the day. Cloud cover will keep temperatures suppressed, with highs struggling to reach 78 degrees Fahrenheit in both Dover and Philadelphia. Total rainfall on Saturday could exceed an inch in spots across Delaware and southeastern Pennsylvania. The Weather Prediction Center has placed the region at a level 1 out of 4 for flood risk on Saturday, the lowest category on their scale. Normally that would be a low concern designation. But here's why I'm still flagging it specifically for Dover, and why it matters. Storm drains, street gutters, and drainage systems across the city are currently partially blocked by tornado debris. Downed trees, building materials, and shredded roofing are sitting in or near drainage pathways right now. That means even a relatively minor rainfall event on Saturday could trigger localized flooding that wouldn't normally happen under these conditions. A level 1 flood risk on an ordinary day is easily manageable, but in post-tornado Dover, it's worth watching closely. The good news for Saturday is that the severe weather risk looks low, with a non-severe thunderstorm outlook as of this broadcast. We'll continue monitoring the models as the weekend approaches, and if that outlook shifts, we'll update you right away. Looking to Sunday, August 23rd, this is trending drier and should be the better of the 2 weekend days. Temperatures rebound to around 83 degrees Fahrenheit in the Dover area, with skies clearing through the afternoon. If you're planning outdoor activities or need to get damage assessment crews out, Sunday is the day to do it. Heading into next week, a genuine stretch of good weather arrives across the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Monday looks great, high near 80 degrees Fahrenheit, mostly sunny with much lower humidity than we've seen recently. Tuesday follows a similar pattern, another mostly sunny day with a high near 80 degrees Fahrenheit, classic late August conditions. Wednesday warms slightly with partly sunny skies and a high near 85 degrees Fahrenheit, though rain may return Wednesday night. Thursday of next week brings partly cloudy skies with a high near 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Overall, it's a solid week for recovery efforts weather-wise. Dover and the surrounding region should get multiple clear days to continue cleanup and damage assessment. I want to zoom out for a moment and put Thursday's event into broader context, because it helps explain why this storm system was so intense. AccuWeather has flagged the 2026 El Niño pattern as potentially one of the strongest in recent memory. Worth noting that's their characterization, not yet confirmed by broader scientific consensus. El Niño refers to a warming of Pacific Ocean surface temperatures that significantly reshapes weather patterns across North America. In the Northeast U.S., a strong El Niño can enhance moisture availability and support more active severe weather setups. Separately, according to CBS News Pittsburgh, the NWS Pittsburgh forecast area has recorded a record number of tornadoes so far this year. This isn't an isolated incident, it fits a broader pattern of elevated severe weather activity across the eastern United States in 2026. Delaware itself also carries a documented vulnerability. It's the lowest average elevation state in the entire country, meaning drainage challenges are essentially built into its geography. According to the NWS, flooding has historically been Delaware's #1 weather hazard. So when you combine an unusually active severe weather season, a low-lying drainage-vulnerable state, and extreme atmospheric moisture, you end up with a day like Thursday. Let's take a quick look beyond the immediate impact zone, since severe weather rarely stays confined to one region. While the Northeast was dealing with tornadoes and flooding Thursday evening, that same cold front had already triggered flash flooding in central Ohio earlier in the day. Multiple water rescues and road closures were reported near Columbus as the front pushed east through the morning hours. The Midwest saw this system first. Columbus took the initial hit before the storm intensified further on its path toward the I-95 corridor. Elsewhere across the country, the West Coast remains quiet, with no major atmospheric river events on the near-term forecast. The Southwest heat dome has eased somewhat from peak summer intensity, though temperatures are still running above average across Arizona and Nevada. Along the Gulf Coast, forecasters continue monitoring for tropical development, since we remain in the active stretch of hurricane season through late October. As of this broadcast, no immediate tropical threats are showing up in either the Gulf of Mexico or the wider Atlantic basin. The Great Plains and traditional Tornado Alley are sitting in a relatively quiet pattern this week following Thursday's main storm track. And across the Great Lakes, Buffalo, Cleveland, Erie, there are no lake effect concerns yet, since we're still in late summer. Lake effect snow season is roughly 2 months out. We'll start watching that as we move into October. Bringing it back to the core story, here's a complete rundown of where things stand as of early Friday morning. Based on official NWS sources, Delaware remains under a state of emergency following a confirmed large dangerous tornado. There have been no injuries, though structural damage is significant. The Days Inn and Super 8 on Route 13 are currently uninhabitable, with guests evacuated. Power substations remain offline in parts of the city. A flood warning is in effect for northeastern Philadelphia until 4:45 a.m. this morning, with the Pennypack Creek confirmed in flood stage. A dense fog advisory remains active until 10 a.m. across central New York and northeastern Pennsylvania, with visibility dropping below a quarter mile in places. A small craft advisory is also in effect for Delaware Bay waters until 6 a.m. Mariners are advised to stay in port. Looking ahead, NWS Wakefield in Virginia is flagging continued risk of heavy rain and flash flooding for eastern Virginia and Maryland through Saturday. Today, Friday, offers the clearest weather window. It's recovery day for Dover, and residents and crews should make the most of it. Saturday brings another round of rain that isn't expected to be severe, but remains a concern given the damaged drainage infrastructure in tornado-affected areas. Conditions improve Sunday, and next week is shaping up to bring several days of sunshine and comfortable temperatures across the region. The National Weather Service will be conducting official damage surveys in Dover and Kent County over the next 2 days to formally assess the tornadoes that touched down Thursday. Those NWS surveys will ultimately determine the official EF scale rating, anywhere from EF0 to EF5, for each confirmed tornado. The EF scale assigns intensity levels based on observed structural damage, with wind speed estimates derived entirely from that ground-level assessment. We won't speculate on a rating before the NWS completes its work. That determination belongs to them, and we'll share the results as soon as they're made official. Typically, these survey results are released within 24 to 48 hours of the event, so expect an update on that timeline. If you're in Delaware, stay off the roads in Dover, treat every dark intersection as a 4-way stop, and never approach a downed power line, regardless of whether it looks active. Always assume it's live. If you're in Holmesburg or Northeast Philadelphia, avoid driving near the Pennypack Creek area until that flood warning expires at 4:45 a.m. If you're driving through central New York or northeastern Pennsylvania this morning, exercise extreme caution until the fog advisory lifts at 10 a.m. Quarter-mile visibility on a highway is genuinely dangerous. Slow down, use low beams, and leave extra following distance. And if you're in eastern Virginia, the Delmarva Peninsula, or coastal Maryland, keep an eye on weather.gov for your county through Saturday. This remains a developing, multi-day situation. It isn't over yet. Please stay tuned to official NWS channels for the latest. This was a serious and genuinely complex storm system. Tornadoes, flooding, power outages, water rescues, and dense fog, all unfolding within the same event. The fact that Dover came through with 0 injuries, despite this level of tornado damage, is remarkable. Credit belongs to the residents who took the warning seriously, the storm spotters who provided real-time confirmation, and the NWS for issuing fast, accurate alerts. The warning system worked, and when it works and people listen, it saves lives. We saw proof of that Thursday night. We'll bring you a full update as soon as the NWS releases official damage survey results from Kent County, and we'll be watching Saturday's system closely, particularly for any changes to flood risk over the tornado-damaged areas. If anything shifts before then, a new warning, an elevated risk, updated damage reports, we'll get that information to you right away. Stay safe out there, and to everyone in Dover, we're thinking of you.